Hello, good morning, Haruka.
Good morning.
Haruka is always the first one to come in the class, right? So you had your exam yesterday, right? Yesterday and day before yesterday. How was it? How was it? You had your exam yesterday, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Only Thai, right? Thai classes you had exam. You only had Thai class exam, or did you also have like other English exam?
Thai class. Yeah.
Right. Right. Good morning, Ode. Good morning, Grace. Let's wait. So you can get your science book. Do you have your science book, everyone? We will be starting with new chapter, okay? Chapter number 7, page number 76. Chapter 7, page 76. Grace and Audrey, how was your exam? You had exam yesterday and day before yesterday, right? How was it? Was it hard? Easy? How was your exam, Grace?
Hard.
Hard? Really? How about Ode? Was it hard or easy?
Medium.
Medium. Okay, so your exams were all in Thai, right? Thai exams. Actually, we also made question papers, but I think you only had Thai exam. Let's wait for 1 more minute and we can start. You guys have to be careful, okay? The corona is getting so serious. Because of this new year, right? Did you see the number of people? So many, right? It's increasing every day. More cases. Have to be very careful when you go out, okay? Okay, Poon is here. Good morning, Poon. Good morning, Poon.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good to see you. Okay, so let's start now. It's already 11:02. First of all, I will share the attendance sheet, okay? So I don't have Pipi. I have Grace. I have Poon. I have Ode. I have Satang. No, I don't have Satang. Satang is absent all the time. Absent. Okay, Baikao. Baikao isn't here today. Oh, this Baikao. This one is Haruka, right? And this one is another one. Okay. Alice is absent. So. Okay. Stop sharing this. So, we will be starting with a new chapter, okay, which is on page number 76. Please turn to page number 76. You can take some notes as well. We will learn about Earth, okay, and after that, we will learn about the layers of Earth. Today's class is not going to be that long. Okay, let's get started then. I only have 4 of you. Oh my God. Where are other students? Okay, it's chapter 7, Earth. Okay, and our main focus for today's class is on the layers of the Earth. Okay, so first let's look at the Earth. So what do you know about Earth? You have been learning about Earth since like kindergarten, right? So Earth is the 5th largest planet on our solar system, right? So in our solar system, how many planets are there? There are about 8 planets, right? There used to be 9 planets, but then one is not considered to be planet anymore, okay? Used to be Pluto, okay? So we have right now 8 planets. So can you guys tell me, what are those 8 planets in our solar system? Poon, can you name one of them, the planets? Can you name one planet in our solar system? There are 7 of them, right?
Mars.
Mars, right? Okay, very good. How about Haruka? I was about to say Haruka. Okay.
Neptune.
Mercury?
Neptune.
Neptune. Okay, very good, Haruka. How about Grace? Can you name one of them?
Jupiter.
Come again?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Okay, very good, Grace. Audrey, can you tell me one of them?
Uranus.
What?
Uranus.
Oh, Uranus. Okay. So I have Michael just joined in the class. Okay. So we have 8 planets, right? So they are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Okay. So that makes up 8 planets. And our Earth is the Is it first closest, second closest, third closest to the sun? Haruka. Our Earth.
Yes.
Is it first closest, second closest, third closest, or fourth closest to the sun?
Third closest.
Yes, very good. So our Earth is the third closest to the sun. Okay. So Earth is the fifth largest planet in our solar system, and its diameter, okay, diameter, it's about 800 miles, okay? And the Earth is the third planet closest to the sun, okay? So Earth is the only planet known to have large amount of liquids, right? And also we humans, okay? Earth is the only planet where living beings can live on, right? How about other planets? I don't know other planets. Humans cannot live, right? I think. Only aliens, only aliens, I think. Okay, I'm kidding. So Earth is the only planet known to have a large amount of liquid. We have oceans, right? Okay, so now let's look at the interior of the Earth. Okay, what's inside the Earth? So this is the Earth, right? Our structure of the Earth is like this. But when we look inside the Earth, okay, inside the Earth, there is like different layers. Okay, when you all look here, this is how our Earth looks like. But on the interior side, on the inside, right, the Earth is divided into 4 layers. Okay, this is how the Earth is divided into 4 layers when we look inside. Okay, so the structure of Earth is divided into 4 layers. So some people also say that Earth is divided into 3 layers. Okay, because here, why they say 3 layers is they only include crust, mantle, and core. But here I said 4 because it includes crust, mantle, inner core, and outer core. So it's 4 layers. Okay, so the both answer is correct here. 4 layers or 3 layers is also correct. If I say 3 layers, just include crust, mantle, and core. If I said 4 layers, right, include inner core and outer core as well. All right. So let's look at it. Our Earth consists of layers. So first one is called as crust, okay? Second one is mantle. Third one is inner core. And fourth one is outer core. All right, let's look at this picture again. So this one is the most inside one, right? Is called as inner core. Just outside the inner core, we have outer core. This one is not mentioned here, right? Outer core. It's outer core, okay? This one is inner core, this one is outer core, and this one is the mantle, okay, mantle. And the last one is the crust, the outer shell, right? This one is called as the crust. So in total, we have 4 layers of the Earth. All right, everyone? So now, can someone read the 4 layers of the Earth? All 4 of them. Baikal. Hello, Baikal, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Baikal, can you read all 4 layers of the Earth, please?
Crust, mantle, inner core, outer core.
Okay, very good, Baikal. Are you sick, Baikal? Take care, okay? All right, so it's 4 of them: crust, mantle, inner core, and outer core. Okay, this is the one. So you already know outer core, inner core, mantle, and this is the crust. So let's first look at the crust. Okay, so out of this 4 layer, let's first look at the crust. So the crust is the outermost layer of the Earth. And crust is made out of rocks and minerals. So it's also written in your book as well, right? It's made up of rocks here, right? Rocks and minerals. Okay. Next one. Much of the crust, right, is covered by water, the sand, soil, and ice. Okay. Crust is the outermost layer of the earth, and it's made out of rocks and minerals, and it's covered by water, sand, soil, and ice. All right, everyone? You can try to note this down because in your book, there's no information about these things, right? I'm wondering like how you guys study because the information here given on your workbook is so less. You can try to take some notes, okay? So that you remember next time when you study. And also the crust is the thin layer of a solid rock and it is the thinnest layer of the earth. Okay, crust is a thin layer of a solid rock and it's also the thinnest layer of the earth. Out of those 4 layers, crust is the thinnest layer of the earth. So crust makes up less than 1% of the earth mass. Okay, so there are about 8 elements that makes up 99% of the earth crust. Okay, you can try to take a note, everyone. So the crust makes up to less than 1%. So what are the 8 elements? We're going to look at those 8 elements that makes up 99% of the earth crust. Okay. You can write out the percent. Okay, so they are the oxygen, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, calcium, sodium, potassium, and iron. Okay, makes up the crust. All right, everyone. So the continents, right, also makes up the earth crust. Okay, so there are about 35 kilometers thick. Okay, there are about 35 kilometers thick. So how many continents do we have, everyone? How many continents do we have? Poon, how many continents do we have? How many continents do we have?
7.
Yes, 7. So what are they?
Australia, Africa, Europe, Asia, North America,
Yes.
South America, and then
One more. One more. Antarctica. Okay, very good, Spoon. So that makes up 7 continents. Very good, Spoon. Very good. Excellent. So we have Asia, Africa, right? North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and Europe makes up 7 continents. So these 7 continents are how many? 35 kilometers thick, and ocean floors are about 8 kilometers thick. So how many oceans do we have? Do you guys know how many oceans do we have? Audrey, how many oceans do we have? We have. You don't know? Okay. How many oceans do we have, Grace? I'm sure you learned this in geography.
4.
4, very good. So what are they? Do you remember?
Pacific,
Pacific,
Atlantic,
Atlantic,
Arctic,
Arctic.
and India.
Oh my God, very good, Grace. So these are the 4, okay? 4 oceans that we have. So these are about 8 kilometers thick, okay? So that makes up the crust, all right? So now, second one, let's look at the mantle. So mantle is the layer below the crust, okay? Mantle is the layer below the crust. And the mantle is the largest, okay, largest layer of the earth. And it's 2,900 kilometers thick, okay? Mantle is the largest layer, okay? It's the largest, remember that. Mantle is the largest layer of the earth. You can try to take a note for this one, everyone. Mantle is the largest layer of the earth, and it's about 2,900 kilometers thick. So because you have questions coming up, you just write largest layer of the earth. And it makes up to how many percent? 70% of the earth's mass. All right, everyone? Mantle makes up to 70. Remember this, 70% of the earth's mass. I want you guys to write this down. And the temperature is between 500 degrees Celsius and between 500 degrees Celsius to, okay, not and, it has to be to 2000 degrees Celsius. All right, everyone? The temperature is between 500 to 2000 degrees Celsius. So I want you guys to take a note for this one, and this one, all three of them. Write it down, okay? Just write it in your workbook. Just by your pencil. Just write it by your pencil. Let me know when you're done, okay? Now, I want you guys to write it down in your workbook or in any separate notebook, because in your workbook, the information given here is very less. I wonder how you guys study. Done? Pun done? Okay. So now let's go to the next one. Let's go to the core, all right? The core is the center of the earth, okay? The core, the innermost, okay? The center of the earth, and it makes up about 30% of the earth mass. So the core are divided into two layers, okay? So can someone tell me? Earth is divided into two layers. So what are they, Haruka?
Yes.
Earth is divided, not Earth, the core is divided into two layers, right? So what are they? Do you remember?
Inner core and outer core.
Okay, very good, Haruka. So it's divided into two, which is the outer core and inner core. So the core makes up 30% of the earth mass. All right, so let's look at the outer core. Okay, the outer core is a molten iron and nickel. Remember this. I want you guys to take a note for this one. The outer core is a molten iron and nickel, okay? And it's about 2,200 kilometers thick. All right, so molten metal, when we heat the iron into a very high temperature, right? It becomes molten. So molten, how does it look like? It looks like lava. Do you know lava, right? The earth lava. So the molten iron is the lava. Okay, it looks like the lava. All right, everyone. So the outer core of the molten iron and nickel, molten means looks like lava when something that is hit into a very high temperature. Okay, the iron, such as iron and nickel, is called as molten iron and nickel. And it's about 2,200 kilometers thick. And it's very hot, and the temperature is between 4,000 degrees Celsius to 6,000 degrees Celsius. So I want you guys to take a note for this one. Write it with your pencil. Molten iron and nickel. Okay, done, everyone. Grace, you done, Grace? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the inner core. Okay, so inner core is a solid metal due to its extreme heat and pressure. All right, everyone, and it's 1,002 kilometers thick, and it's made out of solid iron and nickel. Do you remember in the core, in the outer core, right? It's made of molten. Okay, the core, it's a molten iron and nickel, right? For the inner core, it's solid iron and nickel. Remember that, solid iron and nickel. And the temperature can be high as 7,000 degrees Celsius. So you take a note for that one, everyone. So here in the inner core, right, the temperature is so high. Okay, it's so high. It's very great. Okay, the temperature is very great that it cannot even melt. Okay, it cannot melt. All right, even though the temperature is 7,000, it cannot melt. All right. Remember, solid iron for the inner core. And for the outer core is molten iron and nickel. The temperature is also different. It's 7,000 degrees Celsius here. I forgot to mention about the mantle. Mantle is made up of silicon, okay? Magnesium, oxygen, aluminium, and iron. I think it's already in your book as well, so you don't need to take a note for that one. Done, right, everyone? Writing, done. Poon, done? Are you done, Poon? Okay, so I want you guys to take a note for the first one as well, sorry. This one is already there, right? I want you guys to write This one. Crust is a thin layer of a solid and the thinnest layer of the earth. So I think the elements are not mentioned here for the crust. You can also write that there are 8 elements. Just write 8 elements. Thinnest layer and 8 elements that makes up 99% of the earth crust. Done, right? Okay, so let's move on to our exercises then. Okay, so with this, we are done for this topic. So it's page number 77. Everyone turn to page number 77. We're going to be doing 7.1, exercise 7.1. There's 2, right? 1 and 2. I'm going to do both of them. So here, this is the picture or the figure, okay? Picture of the earth, right? So can you all see this P? So what is this P? Is it crust, mantle, or core? Grace, what is this P here? Is it crust, mantle, or core? Name the layers of the earth in figure 1. So what is this P? Who can tell me this P? Poon.
Crust.
Oh, Grace. Okay, very good. So it's a crust. How about this one? Okay, I think you already know this one, right? Okay, this is the answer. This one is the crust, and this one is the outer core, and this one inside one is the inner core, and down below the crust we have mantle. So write this down, everyone. Okay, question B. What is P made of? P is the crust, right? So what is crust made of? Ode, are you there? What is P made of? P is the crust, right? So what is crust made of? I told you to take a note, right? Okay, so it's made out of rocks and minerals. You can add minerals for extra information. Okay, question C. Which layers make up about 70% of the Earth mass by cow? Which layer makes up about 70% of the Earth mass? I also told you to take a note for this one.
Mantle.
Sure, let's check. Yes, you are correct. Very good, Baikal. Mantle makes about 70% of the Earth mass. Question D. Which is the thinnest layer? This is very easy. Haruka. Which is the thinnest layer?
The crust.
Okay, very good. So you write this down, okay, everyone? Let's see how many minutes we have got. See, we have 5 minutes. Okay, shall we move on to the next one? Exercise 2. Done, right, everyone? Okay. No, Haruka? Okay. Oh, done, right? Okay. This is also on page number 77, all right, everyone? Question 2. The inner part of the Earth is core, containing iron and nickel. It's divided into 2 layers. So name the 2 layers. Poon. So what are the 2 layers of the core?
Outer core and layer core, outer core and inner core, sorry.
Okay, very good. So it's outer core and inner core. And question B also, I told you to take a note, right? Which layer is solid and why? Okay, just tell me which layer is solid. Whom should I ask? Grace. Which layer is solid out of inner core and outer core?
Inner core.
Inner core, yes, you are correct. Inner core is that solid. So why? Because the pressure is so great here, right? I told you, because it cannot melt anymore, even though the temperature reaches 7,000 degrees Celsius. And which layer, question C, which layer contains molten metal? So the answer is obvious, right? So we already wrote down for inner, so you know that the answer is outer core. Outer core contains molten metal, and the temperature is very high, about 400 to 4,000 to 6,000 degrees Celsius. Between 4,000 to 6,000 degrees Celsius, the iron or the metal can melt, right? But once the temperature reaches into 7,000 degrees Celsius, it cannot melt anymore, okay? So it will be solid here, whereas this one will be molten metal. Molten metal means when you heat the iron into a very high temperature, it becomes something like a lava, okay? So that one is called as molten metal. All right, everyone? And so for the next class, we will start a new topic, which is about slow process that change the surface of the Earth. We have about 1 minute, 20 seconds. And are you guys done? If you're done, you can take a picture and send it in the line group. And you can leave the Zoom classroom, and I will see you guys next Thursday, okay? Until then, please take care of yourself, be careful, okay? Don't go to the crowded places, all right? So with this, we are done with our class. Everyone, please make sure you take a picture and then send it in the line group, because I'm gonna be checking on later on, okay? I'm gonna stop sharing the screen now. Okay, so with this, we are done, everyone. I will see you guys next week, next Thursday. Bye-bye. Take care and have a nice lunch. Okay.